Another embarrassing shutout loss has fans questioning everything from the playbook to the pocket presence, and especially the direction of this offense. The stats are alarming, the execution is worse, and what's happening on the field is starting to feel like a warning sign of something much bigger. If you've been wondering why this team can't move the ball, can't score, and looks completely lost on Sundays, you're not alone. What we found might just explain it all. We know we need to build a much stronger roster than last season, and many question Terry and Raheem Morris's ability to take the Falcons to a higher level this year. How would you rate them? Do you think they've done a good job, or are they lacking? And if you really want to see the Falcons compete for the Super Bowl, enjoy it. Let's go! Zach Robinson's offense has completely derailed the Atlanta Falcons. After a humiliating 30-0 shutout loss to the Carolina Panthers, fans have every reason to be furious, and the pressure is mounting like never before. The Falcons have not scored a single touchdown in 2 straight games. Let that sink in. That's not just poor execution. That's a fundamental failure in offensive coordination, and Zach Robinson is right at the center of it. Statistically, this unit is among the worst in the league. In points per game, they're sitting just above the Houston Texans, who themselves are an offensive disaster. The Falcons' offensive EPA, expected points added, is the 4th worst in the entire NFL. That's not just a fluke or an anomaly. That's sustained failure. EPA, for those unfamiliar, calculates how many points are added or lost on each play based on a variety of situational factors: formation, down, distance, field position, and more. And the Falcons? They're at -32. That means they're actively losing expected points every game. Only 3 teams are worse: the Texans, the Titans, with a rookie QB, and the Browns, who are running Joe Flacco out there like it's 2010. And let's not even pretend this is just a stat sheet issue. Anyone who's watched these games can see it with their own eyes. Zach Robinson's system relies heavily, no, exclusively, on the pistol formation. It's supposed to support the run game, and yet the Falcons rank 24th in run block win rate. That's with a formation designed to help the ground game. Week 1? The Falcons ran the pistol on 43% of their offensive snaps. The second highest team? The Eagles at just 19.4%. That's a massive gap, and remember, the Eagles have Jalen Hurts, who can bench press a bus and move like a running back. Michael Penix Jr.? He's a pocket passer being forced into a system built for someone else entirely. What makes it worse is the absolute stubbornness to change. Robinson has been asked repeatedly about the pistol obsession, and his response? He defends it. He claims it helps keep the offense balanced between run and pass. But what we're seeing is anything but balance. What we're seeing is a Pop Warner offense being deployed on Sundays. It's outdated, predictable, and borderline laughable. Teams don't fear the Falcons, they mock them. The offense has become a caricature of itself, running behind the line of scrimmage and refusing to stretch the field. And speaking of stretching the field, or rather, not doing so, let's talk about the passing game. The overwhelming majority of completions are happening behind the line of scrimmage or within 10 yards. The moment Penix tries to push the ball downfield, everything falls apart. There's zero deep threat. Teams are daring the Falcons to throw long, and Atlanta won't, or maybe can't. The much-hyped deep ball from Michael Penix Jr.? It's vanished. And that's not just on the quarterback, that's on the offensive design, on Robinson's refusal to evolve, and on a system that crushes any chance of vertical success. Even when Penix does try to push the ball, his mechanics are all over the place. His footwork is jittery, his throws lack conviction, and the hesitation is clear. Against Carolina, it looked like he was doing a dance routine in the pocket: happy feet, constant movement, no rhythm. It's clear he doesn't trust what he's seeing or what he's being told to do. That's not development, that's regression. And then there's Kyle Pitts. A 4th overall pick turned into just another name on the roster. He doesn't stretch the seam, he's not creating mismatches, and the offense isn't using him as a vertical threat, which is supposed to be his entire value. We keep hearing about his freakish athleticism, but when your average route is a flat or a 6-yard stick, what are you really doing? He's not blocking well. He's not creating impact plays. He's just existing out there, a shadow of the weapon he was supposed to be. If you're not going to use Kyle Pitts properly, then what's the point? The scheme, the personnel usage, the lack of scoring, the lack of identity, it all points back to one man. Zach Robinson. And after 2 weeks without a touchdown, a bottom 5 EPA, a pistol-heavy offense that looks like it belongs in a high school playbook, and no sign of growth or adaptation, the question isn't even whether he should be fired. The question is why it hasn't already happened. So tell me, Falcons fans, do you think it's time to fire Zach Robinson? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's now turn our focus to what's perhaps the most polarizing aspect of this offensive breakdown. Michael Penix Jr., the rookie quarterback, came into this season with high expectations, armed with a cannon for an arm and touted as a natural deep ball thrower. But 6 starts into his NFL career, and he's looking more and more like a quarterback drowning in a system that doesn't fit him. And the blame doesn't fall squarely on his shoulders. Zach Robinson is dragging him down. Let's start with the eye test. Penix doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. He looks rushed, hesitant, and often unsure of where to go with the ball. That calm, confident playmaker we saw at the college level is now jittery and overthinking every move. Against Carolina, it wasn't just off, it was alarming. His feet never stopped moving. He had happy feet, the kind you see when a quarterback is seeing ghosts in the pocket. He wasn't stepping into throws, and even when he had time, there was no rhythm or timing. That's not rookie nerves, that's the result of an offensive system that's giving him no support and no structure. The most damning stat? His average air yards per throw in Week 3 was just 3.8 yards. That's not just bad, it's unacceptable. That number is what you'd expect from a running back on swing passes, not a quarterback who was drafted for his vertical passing ability. If your starting QB is averaging fewer than 4 air yards per attempt, it's because the scheme is suffocating him. There are no shot plays, no intermediate crossers to open up space, no vertical routes to test secondaries. It's all short, all behind the line, all horizontal. And it's not like there's no talent on this offense. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, these are weapons. They're supposed to be mismatches. And yet none of them are being used the way they should. Pitts, especially, has become a ghost in this system. No seam routes, no fades, no posts. Just checkdowns and arrows. At this point, he's being deployed more like a slow slot receiver than the generational tight end he was hyped to be. But let's dig deeper into Penix's struggles. Watch the tape and you'll see double clutches, hesitations mid-throw. That's a quarterback unsure of what he's seeing or being told to do. When you double clutch, you're killing timing. You're allowing defenses to close windows that were momentarily open. It's the result of either not trusting your read or not having a clear progression. That falls on coaching, on play design, on preparation. And when you stack this week over week, it becomes painfully obvious that Zach Robinson is failing to build a system that lets his young QB play fast and free. And here's the real kicker, there's no growth. Through 3 weeks, Penix isn't getting better. In fact, it looks like he's getting worse. That's not on him. That's on the offensive coordinator who is forcing a rigid, outdated system onto a QB who thrives on timing, rhythm, and pushing the ball downfield. If you're not designing plays that highlight a quarterback's strengths, you're sabotaging him. Defenses know exactly how to stop this offense. Stack the box, press the receivers, and dare Penix to throw over the top. There's no creativity. No motion to confuse defenses. No layered route combinations to free up the middle of the field. It's vanilla, it's stale, and it's broken. And when you combine all of this, the pistol obsession, the lack of vertical threats, the misuse of talent, and the clear regression of your rookie quarterback, you're left with an offense that is not just ineffective, but completely dysfunctional. It's not just a bad stretch. It's systemic failure. So again, this isn't just about being angry after a 30-0 loss. This is about recognizing that the Atlanta Falcons are wasting valuable development time from Michael Penix Jr. and squandering the prime years of skill position players like Pitts and London. This offense has no identity, no explosiveness, and no direction under Zach Robinson. And the most frustrating part? Nothing's changing. There's no sign of adaptation. No indication that Robinson is willing to scrap what's not working and build around the strengths of his personnel. The pistol remains the centerpiece of an offense that doesn't scare anyone. It's a system with no flexibility, no adaptability, and no accountability. If Arthur Blank and the front office are serious about building a winning culture, this kind of offensive ineptitude cannot be allowed to continue. Every snap Penix takes in this system is another snap that delays his growth. Every week Zach Robinson remains in charge is another week of wasted opportunities, stalled drives, and embarrassing performances. And so I'll ask you again, do you really believe Zach Robinson deserves to keep calling plays for the Atlanta Falcons? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're fired up about this, if you're tired of seeing this team fall flat on its face, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and don't forget to click on the next video on the screen. Because if you want the latest news, honest takes, and everything Dirty Birds, this is the place to be. Go Falcons!